Hi, in this episode we are going to see how bind can solve some of the problems we run into because of the way this works. So last time we ended up our video where we had this variable func2 and func2 was getting the return value of the result of the function func. So if we run with JS, so as soon as we run the JavaScript, this line gets executed and we get the value red, and when we click we don't get anything. So what we need to do is, first thing is to make sure that func2 is a function. So that's easy. All we need to do is function, and then we need to return the value here, so we can do return func. So now what will happen is, first let's run the code. So we click me, anytime we click we get the return. So let's look at the code to fully understand what's happening. So func2 is a function. So since it's a function, it can be passed to click, and when the click happens, when we click here, then this function gets executed. Okay, so when this function gets executed, this in turn calls func plus apply car. So now let's look at func. Func is car.transportation. So we go to car.transportation and we look at this. But in this case, what is this? The actual call site is here. So, but it is being invoked using the method apply. And apply is a special method which has the power to change this. So now for this invocation of func, because it's invoked with apply, what is this? This is car, and car.vehicle gets executed, and which in turn executes this statement where this is once again car, and we get the value red. So what happens is that, so the beauty of this code is that after this point we can pass func any number of steps down the chain, and we don't have to worry about it, because func2 will always be hardwired to car. So starting this point, we can stop worrying about car. We just have to pass the function. So this code works. This solution works. However, there is a problem. The problem is of inconvenience. Every single time we create a function, we need to pass that function through apply, and through that the object that we want to be this. So in ECMAScript 5 we have a convenience method, and that method is just bind. So func.bind, and we don't need any of these things. We don't need to return anything. Just func2 is func.bind car, and we pass func2. So clear, run with JS, click. So this code is working. So bind, and in most cases there is no need to create an extra variable func2. Mostly it is used like this. So we can cut down on this one. So what it means here is that we actually intend to pass func, but because func, the way it is using this, we want this to be mapped to car. So func.bind car, and this function bind returns a function which can be passed anywhere, and it will always be hardwired to car. So bind is a beautiful thing. However, there is a catch. The bind is available only in certain versions of the browsers. So in order to find it, we can go to caniuse.com, and here we will type bind, and we found one result. Let's click on it, and let's scroll up to see. So function.prototype.bind is available in IE 9 and 10, and in Chrome and other and WebKit. So it means that it's not available in IE 8. So what do you do if you're using IE 8? So if you're using IE 8, then you can use polyfill. So what is polyfill? Polyfill is nothing else but it provides a backward compatibility support. So here is a polyfill which is provided by Mozilla Group. So this is a page about function.prototype.bind. and I highly recommend that you read it. They have some very good examples which will make much clearer how bind works. But at the bottom of the page they have a polyfill, and this is a beautifully done polyfill in the sense that it will apply only to the browsers who are not natively supporting bind. So let's say that you're using IE8. In that case, you will have the bind method, and then this code will run on IE8 also. So before I go, I just want to show one more example of how in general I've seen the usage of a bind. So for that, what we can do is that let's take an example of a very simple function. So here we will, instead of this, we will start with var func is equal to function console.log this.color, and here we have car is our object, color red. Okay. So now if we run the JavaScript code and click here, we get the value. So this is working fine. However, most of the time, the way it initially when people start, they don't start with function like this. In general, people type this function directly in the click handler. So most of the time this function will be typed like this. Okay, so there is no function here, and then we have a car there. Okay, so this is a valid code, and if we run this code, obviously because of undefined, it will not work. So you might have seen the solution to be like this. Some people might write solution like this: var underscore this is equal to car, and then here instead of this you will use underscore this. Let's try it, and this solution work. So this is the reason why in a lot of solutions you will see underscore this. Another form of underscore this is also that, people call it that, and then they use that here. So basically the idea is same, that they are trying to manipulate their this, and either at that time the bind was not that popular or people didn't know about the bind, but this is all the whole point is that you don't want to tie yourself to this. So you're tying yourself to that, and that refers to car. But I think that these days much elegant solution is to leave this thing to this, and then here when there is this function at the end of the function, you just do bind this, bind car, and then when you click, the code works. That's all for this episode. I will see you next time. Thank you very much.